ESPN posts grossly irresponsibly article about reporter saying Caitlin Clark fans made her feel unsafe. ESPN promoted an article from Enscape, its owned and operated pro-black vertical, on its homepage Friday that featured the following headline: "The Indiana Fever vs. Connecticut Sun WNBA game made me feel unsafe." You can read the article in full here. The author of the article is a woman named Frankie de la Cretaz, who, in July, accused Outkick founder Cretaz of queerphobia for his coverage of Caitlin Clark. She also posted that article on the ESPN website. While ESPN is no stranger to commentary that would seemingly fail to meet any standards of a legitimate news organization, the article in question is a new low. The author argues that she felt unsafe at the game because of the Caitlin Clark fans in attendance. What exactly did these fans do to make the reporter feel threatened? According to de la Cretaz, one wore a MAGA hat and another wore fake nails. "I'm at the Sun/Fever game, and the vibe is horrendous. The woman behind me was mocking DiJonai's eyelashes and only stopped when my partner turned around and told her to stop being racist. There's a man in a MAGA hat. Then there's this woman in a band nails shirt and cartoonishly fake nails," she said. No, wait, a literal MAGA hat. The fake nails were in response to the Sun guard DiJonai Carrington jamming her nail into Clark in Game 1 of the series, which several video angles suggest was intentional. Given Carrington's previous comments about Clark, there is reason to believe the poke was intentional. Either way, the fake nail counter was a prop. The fans were being fans. They were trolling, as fans do at nearly every sporting event. Go to an Eagles game and report back to us. However, according to someone ESPN pays to write, trolling a black woman is a bridge too far. That, and the MAGA hat, of course. We now quote, from the article, a paragraph that the ESPN editorial process somehow found up to standard. Every time the Fever scored, the crowd would erupt, but it didn't feel like fans were rooting for their team. It felt like a threat. There was an ominous feeling in the building. What? For perspective, ESPN is the leading sports brand in America. The company published and amplified the article on its homepage. In the article, one of its reporters accused fans of threatening her safety and thus suggested that arena security did nothing about it. Those are pretty hefty accusations. Rarely do you see a major news outlet frame ordinary people, in this case, fans, as racist and threatening. If I'm one of those fans, I am furious. I'd want to clear my name. Again, all the fans did was wear a hat supporting a presidential candidate and weak nails as a joke. If ESPN actually feels like its reporter was unsafe at the game, the logical response would be to not send reporters back to Fever games next season. Is that the plan? Outkick asked ESPN that question. We also asked whether the company stands by the article and if defaming the fans in attendance met company standards. ESPN did not respond to our request for comment. We will update this article if the network does. Ultimately, the article reads like the culmination of months of irresponsible, overly emotional coverage of Caitlin Clark. Since May, ESPN has allowed its commentators and analysts to say just about anything about Clark, no matter the facts. ESPN employees have smeared Clark. They've smeared her fans. They've accused the millions of fans tuning her to her game of rooting Clark out of disdain for black lesbians. ESPN staffers feel empowered, as if there are no consequences for what they say, so long as it props up the baseless narrative that Clark's popularity is the result of white supremacy. As a result, an article categorizing cheers for Clark as a threat emerged on the homepage of ESPN.com.